And I just did this by sharing my screen the last time, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just sent the request to you guys to share it. The participants just dropped by 10.
They're
The
all still funneling
oh
in
well,
and joining with audio. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. We have a couple more persons joining, so we'll just give them an opportunity to do so. All right. So everyone, you can get settled. Make sure you can sign into your ChatGPT accounts, get your notebooks ready while we give persons just a couple more minutes to join in, and then we'll get started closer to the 6:15 mark. And feel free to get acquainted in the chat.
evening as we allow everyone to have some time so they can settle in and log into their chat GPT so that their prompts from tonight can be saved and they can go back to it, edit it, and make it better. I just want to see how many hands, if you can just raise your hands or you can shout yourself out in the chat. How many of us are in attendance, were here the last evening and are excited to be here this evening? Okay, I'm hearing that the volume is too low. I can see that you're on your iPhone. Could this be something with your phone? Is anyone else having a low volume issue? If you can hear me, you can just raise your hand or send a thumbs up in the chat for me, please. If you're having volume issues, also let me know. Okay, there's a thumbs up. Anybody else? Loud and clear. Lovely. Okay, Woody, I think maybe you can just check with your phone as well. It may be your volume. We have Shante back in the room again. This is going to be very interactive. We're asking you guys to please use this time wisely. If you don't have a chat GPT account, now would be the time to sort of create one. They're free. We're going to be doing a lot of prompts tonight. If you have a business, get ready. If you've thought of some business, maybe now would be the time to just give chat some very brief summary on what you're thinking about so you can relate the prompts that Ms. Shante is going to give us tonight to that specific business. Okay. Lovely, lovely.
Hi
I think
guys. The enemy is trying it today, isn't he? Like he just is gonna keep on trying to throw these little tech gremlins in here to try to stop me from giving y'all this sauce right here. We're not gonna stop. I don't care what he does. Let's see here. Can you guys hear me? I'm thinking not.
I can hear you loud and clear. We're getting yes in the chat. Yes in the chat.
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh, yes, I see. Like just every little tech gremlin issue, he just is throwing them all out at one time. All right. You can hear, still low. The session will be recorded. All right. So, you guys are gonna let me know when we can start.
Yes, we can get
Ready?
started now.
Okay, great. Well, hi everybody. Thank you so much for being here again. I am very excited about part two. I first would like to say welcome back, builders, because I'm sure a lot of people left the last session and went back to ChatGPT and started building the GPTs on their own and just really figuring out what they can do to make their entrepreneurial lives a little bit more efficient. And I would love to hear from anybody who went back and used some of the stuff that we did in session one to create more brand clarity, to tighten up their brand identity. Anybody who got a jump start on the GPT, does anybody want to share anything about what they did done since the last session? Anybody? I mean, if you don't want to share, that's fine. I just would love to hear from anybody who actually went ahead and was like, I'm going to figure this out. All right, so if we are all ready to get started, let's get started. Can everybody drop a ready in the chat for me? Can y'all hear me? Because I'm not seeing any readies. Okay, now I'm seeing some readies. All right, let's go. Let's get your coffee, get your wine, whatever, pop a caffeine pill. We need to definitely get into it and bring that high energy like we had before. Everybody's hearing. I'm seeing a couple of people who are saying they can't hear. Do we have any other people who have a hearing problem with their Zoom? Miss Harriet, we are going over creating the GPT today, so you are on time. Okay? All right, welcome back, builders. So in the last session, we clarified who you are, right? We went through brand clarity, which, we gave some examples of folks who definitely had a problem with brand clarity, like MySpace, Yahoo, Kodak, and gave some examples of what happens when your brand is not clear. and that you start to bleed market share. We also talked about how to use ChatGPT to create your brand identity. We talked about using ChatGPT as a faith and spiritual strategist to make sure that they keep in your mindset level set every morning for the battles that entrepreneurship is going to bring you. We had the perspective prompt. We had the analytical prompt for our brand ID so it could tell us exactly what was working and what wasn't. And so now, this session, we are going to take it up a notch. So now that we've established the rules of brand clarity and how to establish your brand identity, we're now moving forward with AI automation for entrepreneurs, right? So this is brand capacity. And so we built the systems. Now we need to automate exactly what we're going to do to make our capacity to operate at a higher level more. Remember that word velocity from the framework. The only way we get velocity is by creating systems. So we're going to go forward here. Okay, back. Okay, so what we're doing today, three main parts of AI automation for entrepreneurs is number one, the Chat GPT virtual assistant for everyone, your executive virtual assistant. That is going to be where we break down piece by piece exactly what you have to do to walk away from this call with your own executive assistant that resides right in your Chat GPT and doesn't cost you an extra $30 an hour, and something that is going to think like you, use your own vocabulary and lexicon, and use your own personal word bank from your business. Number two, AI automation for emails, because emails are some of the ways that we can establish our community early on, keep loyal customers in the know, constantly launch new products, and give alerts about what's happening with the business. And email is a very underutilized tool for a lot of entrepreneurs because they don't know how to automate it. And they are terrified of the idea of sitting there and crafting a new email every single time. And finally, AI automation for proposals, presentations, and pitches. So the reason why that's important is because if you have a service-based business, you get a lot of business based on proposals, decks, presentations, pitches. If you're in the business of pitching what you do, then you certainly will want to figure out how to automate that and make that much easier so you can turn out double the amount of proposals. But even if you aren't in a service business, but you plan to scale your business, you are certainly going to need to learn how to automate decks and proposals. Like, let's say you want to go after investors, or let's say you want to go after just financing from your business for banks, private investors, angel investors, or anybody else. Your presentation and the way you present that company has to be on point. And that's what we're going to show you how to do with very minimal effort. All right, so can I get a one in the chat for everybody who's ready to go and learn how to automate some systems? One in the chat. Thank you. All right, so we're ready to go. Now let's go to the introduction. Who am I? I am Shante Bacon. For those of you who were not at the last session, I'm a communication strategy expert. Just call me your comms coach. Built $1 million PR firm right here in New York City with offices in Atlanta and LA. Over the last 21 years, working with brands like Apple TV, Google, YouTube, Disney, Paramount Pictures, NBC, Peacock, Netflix, and more. I've actually forgotten more clients than I've had, because I just it's been a long time, 20 years. But these are some of the highlights. We were with Oprah Winfrey Network for 13 years. They're not listed here, but helped Oprah launch that network when it was 10 months old and they had a crisis in programming. So definitely know how to automate systems and help communicate it to your target audience. So how did I end up here? I made the leap from a well-paid gig in the music business. I don't know how many people are on this call who heard of a record label called Def Jam. I worked there in college and after college, after I graduated. And I was Kanye, Ludacris, Method Man, Ghostface, Kelly Price, Beanie Siegel, and Freeway. I was their product manager. And super young, fresh out of college, touring with celebrities in the studio, watching their marketing campaigns come to life and climbing ladders and putting up displays in record stores. And that was back when they had record stores. So I'm dating myself a little bit, but that's how I started was with a well-paid gig in the music business, left that dream job when it turned into a beautiful nightmare to go ahead and launch this business 20 years ago. And a lot of people were like, girl, why would you ever leave a dream job to go start a business? That's hard work. And I was like, well, that dream job became a beautiful nightmare. And I couldn't wait to start my own business. It was a dream of mine and I was ready to go. So first 5 years of entrepreneurship made me wonder why I did this thing to myself. So it was a lot of grunt work, grinding, working a lot of music industry projects for very little money, and wondering when we were going to start working for money and not pixie dust that was coming off of the promises and dreams of the people we were working with. And so we turned a corner in 2010, pivoted into film and television, and was able to build a business based on those projects. After breaking into the film business through Disney, then we worked a few more years and pivoted into tech by winning an RFP that Google put out there. And we beat four other agencies to become their agency of record. And we were their agency of record for 7 years before they decided that Trump's threats about DEI was enough to scare them to not commit to multicultural audiences. But just keeping it honest, we did some phenomenal work with Nas and Yara Shahidi and all kinds of people, helped YouTube with their original programming and movies. In 2018, was managed to pivot into politics with the helping the Democrats win 41 seats in Congress and that midterm election, and then becoming a $1 million business in 2016. And here we are. Okay, so I always start with this. Again, I know if you've heard me speak before, you know I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again. I am not a minister. I'm not a pastor. I don't have any more understanding of faith than anyone else on this call. All I know is what works for me because entrepreneurship will test your soul, your nervous system, your body chemistry, and everything else. It's going good until it isn't. And I understand what entrepreneurial exhaustion is. I understand what decision fatigue is. I understand what it's like to have high highs and low lows all in the same day when you get a big win and then you get a big loss. And especially when you start growing your business and having a team and you then have other people's money and mortgages depending on you. Because it's one thing if you have entrepreneurship and heartburn, right? Because your bills are late. But it's another thing when you've made a commitment and everyone on your team has rent to pay every month and they need that money, right? So then that's heartburn times a million. So I understand what that means. And I understand the role that faith and being grounded in your purpose, grounded in your being in alignment with the mission that God wants for you. Because when you are not in alignment, it's real easy to waste a lot of time doing what you planned, but not what he planned for you. And so, like, I've done all of those things, wasted that time, had to pivot back, had to get right. And he will set you on the right path and put you through some trials that are like, I didn't tell you to go make that left turn. I told you to go this way, but you wanted to go that way. So let's bring it on back. So having faith as a strategy is the core mission of all of my presentations. So I'm just extracting some of the chapters and verses that I use every day in my business. And I think they're perfect for entrepreneurs. I share them on my Instagram page. For any of you who are following me on Instagram, you have seen that I share these at least once a week. But for this one in particular, right? So Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, and they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That to me, always when I read it, it makes me feel like I can run through a wall, right? Because I know whose mission I'm on, right? And even if I make a misstep or there's an obstacle in my way or I make a mistake, I try to practice radical forgiveness because I know that I'm on the mission and it's not going to be problem free, right? And when I read passages like this, and I always feel like no matter how hard the day before was, that my strength is renewed because I know whose mission I'm on. I'm in alignment. I'm staying focused on the goal and the purpose. If anybody has any other chapters and verses that they love and you want to share, feel free. Okay? All right, let's talk mindset. I always have a faith component to my lessons for my students. And some of you have heard about my green room community. And some of you have seen some of the hot seat coaching on my Instagram page. But there's the green room community, there's the headline heroes community, and then there's the green room courses. And so all of the courses always start with a faith component, and then they also start with a mindset component, because faith is one thing, but being able to level set and adjust your mindset, because as your business grows, you're going to have to change your mindset for every level of growth. And that doesn't matter with who you are or what you're doing. I mean, think about a baby. When they're born, you're teaching them how to tie their shoe, how to brush their teeth, how to do every little thing. Every phase requires a different mindset shift. So, one thing that I like to start with when it comes to an AI course is AI is not replacing you, it is releasing you. A lot of people are worried about AI and it being, some kind of invasion of privacy, and that, they're in your homes and in your phones. And the fact is that if you have a cell phone, they've been in your home a long time. Like, privacy is an old antiquated idea. When a phone or any other device, Alexa's in your home, Siri's on your phone, Google Nest is on your counter, you have a laptop, you have a cell phone, it can count everything from the breaths you take to the steps you take to the amount of hours you slept and everything else. Privacy is an old, antiquated idea. I would say take what you can from AI to help make your business everything that it can be, and leave the rest, right? If you feel like there's certain lines you're not willing to cross, never cross them, because that's how you feel. But AI is a tool that can release you from the past constraints of only being one person who wasn't able to do a lot, because you can't do everything. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Cox. AI handles repetition. So, as a business owner, you're one person. If you're lucky, you found another person or a couple of people who can love your business like you do. But the truth is that it's your baby. No one's going to love it like you. No one's going to take care of it like you. I know within 30 seconds of talking to someone, if they're the owner, when I walk into a business, because of the care that they take in talking about that business. If it's not the owner, it's a whole different language, it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different mindset. That owner is going to treat that business like a growing baby that they love and they nurture. And the bottom line is that you're the only person who's really going to do that. What AI does is allow you to add more people on that you don't have to pay. You just have to train and train and train. Now, AI handles drafts. You handle discernment. So, well, the reason why this is important is this: AI sounds like a quick fix, right? A lot of people are out there like, oh, I'm going to get AI and I'm going to have it write my paper, do my homework, write the pitch, this and that. The thing about discernment is this: it can't discern anything. You ask it for something, it's going to spit out what you ask for, but you have to train it and tell it the way to think and the way to communicate with you when it sends you something. That's all you. You cannot be replaced in that way. And that's the reason why you don't need to be afraid of AI. It doesn't have your experience, it doesn't have your expertise, it does not have your specific word bank, lexicon, and language in the way you talk about your business. It doesn't know why your loyal customers come back to you. That stuff only you know. And that's why you must handle discernment. I'm sure everyone on this call has heard about that nightmare situation that happened when this happened in the United States, I'm sure. But it was a college student full of kids who all took the same homework and came back with the same book report. So everybody failed the class. And this was like early on when ChatGPT had just come out. And it was because they all asked the same thing: write this book report for me. So what did it do? Took the book and wrote the book report. No one said, put it through the lens of the protagonist, the antagonist. Think about this, and that. They didn't put them in it. That's why they all got the same thing. If you don't put you in it, you will get the same thing as plenty of other people who don't bother to give it the discernment of their experience and expertise. AI handles the busy work, you handle the brilliance. It cannot replace that, it cannot come up with it. All it can do is spit back out what you ask it. So let's talk about capacity. As entrepreneurs, right? What overwhelms you operationally? So, when we talk about operations of our business every day, well, first, let's talk about overwhelm. There are two different types of overwhelm, right? When you are a business owner, there's emotional overwhelm, and that sounds more like, oh my God, we are building this business and we don't have the resources to grow as fast as the customer base is growing. That's emotional. That's fear based. That's overwhelmed that you cannot really manage. There is, oh my God, we didn't get the legal paperwork in. Oh my God, I have to hire 10 people. I don't have time to sift through resumes and do all of these interviews. I have no idea what to do, right? That's emotional. It cannot help you hire someone and vet into leads. It cannot help you with a good problem like the business is growing so fast you have to catch up. It can help you with operational overwhelm. That's in your business. Like you have more emails to send than days, hours in the day. You have to create social content because if you're a business owner in the year 2026, you might not have asked for it, but you're going to play the social game if you want to be in business. It's kind of like the job that nobody signed up for, but everyone has to play ball if they want a growing, thriving business. You must get your content game together, right? Proposals. If you're a service-based business especially, proposals is something that operationally you really cannot just dele- de- delegate to lower level folks in the business because proposals are the difference between you and the bag. So let's just be honest. Usually the owner is stressed out, toiling over proposals. Scheduling. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, having an assistant for years and mostly feeling like I was overpaying them, I the most critical thing any assistant could help me with was scheduling because I'm the first person to double book something and say, yeah, 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 and forget about it and then agree to something else. Scheduling is something that most owners need help with, and that is something that AI can especially help you with and be really good at it. And the next one is everything. Are you feeling operationally overwhelmed with everything above in your business because you just are one person? You're probably someone's mom, someone's wife, someone's daughter. You're caretaking an elder parent. You're raising kids. You have a husband or a wife. You have a whole household that really needs a house manager, but you're that person. So you're worrying about everyone's doctor visits, medication, what they're eating for dinner that night, and all of that. Plus, you've got the business, right? That is just going to lead to overwhelm no matter what. Drop a two in the chat if you can relate to entrepreneuring while momming, while wifing, while husbanding, while caretaking, while doing all of that. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? Do we have any parents on the call? Do we have any caretakers on the call? Do we have, I mean, like, even for you to be on this call, it is a huge sacrifice in time, okay? Like we all know this. I have a 5-year-old and an 83-year-old, and I know that life. It's like by the end, you make it to 11 o'clock just so that you can think. You're like, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. I can think. Everybody's in bed. And so if you understand what I'm talking about, that is how AI can help you. All right, let's see. Why every entrepreneur needs a virtual assistant. So the reason why, there you can have several GPT agents for your business, right? You can have a sales copywriter, you can have an ad copywriter, you can have email writer. I have all of those. I have 9 of them for my business. But the reason why you start with your virtual assistant is because your assistant will draft cop versions for you. I don't know about you, but it's way easier to edit a document than to start it from scratch. Type amen if you know what I'm talking about. If somebody gives you something that's 80% of the way there and you dictate it to them and they send it back to you, you're like, you know what? I can make this work. Can I get an amen? Anybody? When they send it to you and you're just editing it down, way easier than let me get in my writer bag and sit there and try to write from scratch. Who has time for that? We're feeding a whole house. We're taking care of a whole house. We're parents. We're out. We're barely sleeping trying to make it all work. They can brainstorm with you. You can dictate exactly what you want to brainstorm on, and the GPT will go with you for hours. You could just talk to it. I'm thinking this. What are you thinking? I'm thinking that. You can even say to your GPT agent, I think you're agreeing with me a little bit too much. I need you to push me. And sometimes if you get they have a voice on Chat GPT called Monday, and she's kind of rude and broody and sarcastic on purpose because some people like that and they're inspired by that. But she will say, "Do you want me to agree with you or do you want me to push you?" And literally will push you into a better, higher level of thinking and creativity. I'm telling you, this is built for entrepreneurs. It will help you organize. You can create project folders for legal, accounting, scheduling, meetings, proposals, organizations, partners, any investors. Just help you organize all of the work that you have been doing around all of these areas. Scheduling. If you get an app like Calendly and you connect it with your GPT agent, it's keeping track of all of your PTA meetings, after school teacher meetings, doctor's visits, everything that you have going on. You can make that work, and your virtual assistant can schedule a daily task and say, here are the meetings we have today. Here are the doctor visits we have today. Here are the things we have to get done today. That is what you need from your agent. Plan. You can plan out what your next 30 days of content looks like. Hi, handsome. That's my boy. He just got home. Hi, Booski. Can mom come see you in a few minutes? Hi, you had a good day? Is he okay? You okay? Okay. So plan is that was my boy. He's 5 years old. He just got in from school. Plan, and that is 30 days of content, 30 days of emails. I mean, just all of it. It can help you plan that. And we're gonna do some of that in here in a little while. And save you hours weekly so that you can spend more time with your family and your loved ones. Because that is the real point of entrepreneurship, is so that we have more freedom to spend with our loved ones. All right, so we're getting into the interactive part, and this is the part we're going to build your Chat GPT virtual assistant. So it's a live workshop. Does everybody here have their Chat GPT account open and ready? I am ready for you. All right, so here's step one. We have to decide the assistant's role, right? Because saying executive assistant or saying virtual assistant is not a universal term. It is not. It is a different thing for every single person with every single business. People who are doctors need something different from their assistant than people who are accountants, than people who are attorneys, than people who are doing marketing, than people who are doing construction services. Every type of virtual assistant has very specific needs to that business. So you have to first say, what repetitive task is draining the life out of me? Like I'm desperate to hand it to somebody else. What takes me too long to do? Like, what on earth am I spending way too much time doing when it just doesn't require this much time? But it takes you a long time to do it because you're trying to do that plus 50 other things in a day. What do I procrastinate on? That's yours. What do I procrastinate on? Like, what is it that I'm just like, oh my God, like I don't even want to look at that right now. I'm too exhausted. Let me put that on the back burner. Those are the things that you want to look at first to delegate to your virtual assistant. And examples are email drafter, because who wants to sit there typing up a bunch of emails, right? That's like the best thing you can use the dictation feature on Chat GPT for. I used to talk back and forth to the robot, but sometimes it gets overwhelmed and glitchy if you've been doing it for too long. So what I like to do now is dictate exactly word for word what I want. And then at the end, I always say, do you understand the mission or do you need me to answer clarifying questions? And it types it right out, dictates it, and it never misses. And I never waste my time on a lost conversation or it glitching or anything like that. Proposal writing. client onboarding assistant, social caption creator, script writer, ad copywriter. Can anyone just drop in the chat if any of these six things are things that you need in your business? Like, which one would you need? Who here would need help with emails? Can you drop email in the chat? If you need help with social content, can you drop social in the chat? If you need help with Facebook ad copy, can you drop Facebook ad in the chat? Like, I want to hear, like, what could you really be using the help with? Because that's critical to the mission of the virtual assistant. Anybody else here? Oh, client onboarding, Facebook ads, social content, all good stuff. Yep, we're going social captions, take all of that. Anybody here need help with proposal writing? Because that's a big one right there. But all of this is all good stuff. Social content. Who doesn't need a partner in social content, right? Like you started a business to do hair or to make clothes or to be a dentist, and all of a sudden you got to be a damn expert in social media. And you're just like, when did I sign up for this? Like I'm digging in people's teeth all day. How on earth am I now supposed to be on camera every day? I need them all too. Exactly. So these are the kinds of questions we need to ask ourselves. First, what do we need our virtual assistant to do? So really quickly, because this is interactive, you don't have to share this in the group, but if you want to, you can. Pick the top three things that you need your virtual assistant to do. You can drop them in the chat or just write them down for yourself somewhere so that as we're working through it, we can use that. Okay. Just write that down real quick. I'm going to give you a minute or two to write it, and then we'll move forward. Okay. All right. Now, if your chat GPT is not open, we definitely need to do that part. If you don't see the button that says create GPTs, then you may need a paid GPT account. That was a problem in our last call. I believe we've worked through that. Everybody all good there? Thank you, Kendall, for dropping that in. Anybody else with their top three things that they need? Okay, let's see. Yes, so it is required. It wasn't always, but it is now. And what we need to do with that is anybody on here who does not have the ability to get to that yet. I want to go to my chat GPT real quick. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do that because I'm here. All right. Okay. So when you go into ChatGPT, and some people may be on their phones as well. So if you're on your phone, definitely just okay, I am not on Fields for Dreams. Okay. Gregory Tinker. All right, so follow along. Each page on this deck goes into great detail about how to set up the GPT. And what you could do is screenshot it and when you do get your paid account, you can definitely use it. So even if you don't have your paid account, you can still follow through. Okay. All right. We're going to start with the executive assistant starter prompt. So the reason why this is critical is because everything starts with this question. Now, let me be crystal clear about the time commitment because I know for sure that I have mentioned this to you before in the last call. It is not a short process to set up a GPT executive assistant that is going to help you. If you don't have a lot of time, it's okay to just kind of tinker with it and then go back and spend the real brain work on it because it doesn't make sense to fly through it and get a GPT agent that isn't going to help you. You need one that's going to help you, that's going to change your life. That's going to be one you can call on every day, every morning. This is what I need. And it will not be able to help you if you don't spend the time. So you will get resources with this stuff included in it, but this is how I started mine, and I'm going to show it to you. I want to build a world-class AI executive assistant for SB Enterprises. This assistant should function as a hybrid executive assistant and operations manager. I always put operations with assistant because if you ask something to think like an assistant, it will not take on leadership even when it has the ability to handle something on its own. That's just humans. And I'm thinking that I want this thing to think like the kind of executive assistant of my dreams. So I'm going to have to tell him to do that. He must manage launches, content workflows, email sequences, calendar priorities, and trend intelligence, right? He should anticipate tech and digital shifts. He should think like an MBA strategist. That's important because it's a higher level of thinking than someone who just came on as an assistant, and embody the qualities of top executive assistants who support billionaires. Think about Richard Branson's assistant, Mark Cuban's assistant, Jeff Bezos' assistant, Mark Zuckerberg's assistant. These are not just assistants. These are people who manage their whole lives and damn near manage the business. I need your help building a world class, intuitive, brilliant, nurturing, forward thinking digital assistant who can manage my day to day to do list and help me manage this business. Please tell me what clarifying questions I need to answer so you can help me build the AI assistant of my dreams. If anyone has any questions whatsoever about that prompt and why I put something in it, please speak up. Don't sit there the entire time confused. We're here for an interactive session. I need your questions. I need your feedback. If something is unclear, is this clear to everybody? If it's clear to everybody, drop clear in the chat so we can keep moving. Great. Okay, anybody else? This was clear too? We all clear? Ready to move forward? Okay, definitely use that. And again, make sure you customize it for your own business. If nobody knows your industry like you do, so you're going to need to make sure you infuse wording about your business, right? And what you need. Digital shifts may not even apply in your business. If you do a construction, if you have a construction company, if you have a bakery, that kind of thing. You want to know exactly what's going to help your business. Okay? So we start with the starter prompt. You put that into ChatGPT, and what it's going to do is spit out a long list of clarifying questions. Thanks, Zakita. What I did was share the clarifying questions that it asked me because it's going to give everybody something different based on what you say. But I'm going to go through the 6 clarifying questions that it asked me. And while we're doing this, you can be putting this into your ChatGPT. So, core, purpose, and mission. They needed me to respond and say, what is the mission of this assistant? Help you stay on top of your to-do list, support client funnel movement, prep for speaking engagements, optimize digital products. Should the assistant behave more like an executive assistant, an operations manager, a creative strategist, or a hybrid? It will always ask you if somebody should operate as a hybrid. I always say hybrid because I don't want it to section off certain types of thinking, like hybrid. Absolutely. So for this, I said a hybrid of an executive assistant and an operations manager, exactly like in my prompt, right? So that was the first question I had to answer. So I spoke my response in, and I gave a long list of to-do list things that a communications person like myself, a comms coach, would need, right? Keeping on top of trends in public relations and communications. What trends are happening in your business that he has to stay on top of? Scheduling, helping me plan email sequences, staying on top of news alerts and things that are happening in the news, right? So that was one. That's just the first clarifying question. Second, task management and workflow. What are the top 10 recurring tasks or workflows this assistant should manage for you daily, weekly, and monthly? You must be so specific here because this is how he knows how to help you. If you're like, oh, this is too much, I don't want to do it, table it and get back to it. You don't have to do it all at one shot, but you do have to do it and think about it because that's going to be the difference between you getting a BS virtual assistant or getting one that's going to help you with that business. Do you understand? Daily, weekly, monthly. Say daily, I need news alerts from the let me see. I need news alerts from the investing and trading industry sector. I need daily news alerts from hotel and hospitality sector. I need daily alerts from whatever your business is, music, entertainment, film, whatever. and you want to get those alerts in weekly. Every week, I need him to let me know what things I should be posting on social. Say, reminder, you need to be going live on Instagram at some point today, whatever it is. Track deadlines, summarize meetings, proactively flag missed tasks or opportunities, set up and prioritize your calendar for focus and visibility. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, whenever I think about the best way my GPT can help me, a lot of times it is to prioritize like an hour for this every week and an hour for that because there's so much going on that I'm feeling like overwhelmed if I don't block an hour just for this. And by the way, that also includes my faith work, right? The first thing I'm doing every morning, that first 30 minutes belongs to my faith and my establishing and strengthening my relationship with God. Before I open up my phone and look at Instagram or anything else that's going to set me off, before I even wake my son up to get ready for school, it's me and the Bible. All right. Personality and voice. Okay, so you literally get to dictate the voice of your assistant. How would you describe the tone and personality of your ideal assistant? Calm and analytical, sassy and confident, like my favorite project manager who keeps it real but never lets me drop the ball. All of those are answers. Just think about it. Think about the best employee you ever had, but they left to go have a baby or they left to go move to Canada. Like, summarize that person. Whoever you can think of that you're like, this is my dream assistant. Make sure you're very specific about what their personality is like. Are they kind of fun and playful? Are they kind of humorous and serious? Um, should it mirror any real life inspirations? Should they talk to you like Sam Jackson? Should they model themselves after some celebrity who you are obsessed with and you like the way this person communicates? Should it speak in first person or second person when engaging with you? Do you want it to say, hi, Shante. Thank you for this task. Here's what the blah, 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 blah is. Or it can just address you in second person and just be like, you wanted this, here you go. Any questions about the personality and voice? Terrell, I'm sure you can catch the replay. If not, just there'll be a third session in April that we hopefully will be able to update you guys on, and that one will be in person. Okay, next. Tools, systems, and integrations. So we have, which system does it need to connect to? Google Calendar, ClickUp and Asana, Notion, Gmail, Stripe, Wix, Kajabi, Zapier, Airtable, anyone who has a website. If your site is built on Kajabi, if it's built on ClickFunnels, if it's built on Wix, if it's built on GoDaddy, whatever it is, you can make sure that you have some kind of plugin so that you can use it. I use Wix. My website is on Wix. I use Notion, got a Notion plugin, can send stuff right directly into Notion. Gmail, I have that. Stripe, I have that in my SAM card. So I'm saying there's endless features that you can plug directly into your agent so that he can help you with that. Calendly for your calendar. Airtable, if you keep a spreadsheet of everything your clients need. Zapier is a tool that connects two tools that don't have automatic plugins. Go nuts with it. Be specific. Always, remember, like in our last session, this is fluid. There is no specific end time. You keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you change it every month. You update it, you refine it, you make it better, you add more. Should it recommend automations to reduce manual tasks? Most definitely. You want recommendations all the time about how to automate a manual task. Does it need access to or insight from your ad dashboards, email stats, or sales performance? Anybody have any questions about that? I'm going to keep moving. Business priorities. What are your top 3 business goals this quarter? What outcomes would you want this assistant to help you move the needle on the fastest? Sales growth, challenge signups, digital product revenue, social media consistency. If you're like, I need to go from posting 0 to posting 4 times a week on Instagram, that is what I need this assistant to help me with. That's a business priority. If you're like, I need to generate 10 more leads every month for my business, that is a priority for your business and something you need to set up with the GPT agent so that he reminds you, we don't have 10 leads yet. We only have five. You got to make a few more phone calls to get 10 leads in. What outcomes would you want this assistant to help you move the needle on the fastest? I read through this already, but remember to keep on asking yourself course revenue, email sequencing. I got that, Kendall. So email sequencing is a big deal for entrepreneurs, and we're going to get into that more. All right, so let's keep go. Anybody else want to drop their business priorities? I'd love to see some of them. I know that you dropped the three things, the tasks for the agent, but three things that you personally would like to accomplish that you need the assistance help with. Anybody out here, a coach and dropping courses? Anybody out here, a hairstylist or beauty in the beauty industry and have products that they want to sell? Anybody in here in food service or hospitality? Anybody on here, any kind of business that you have, if you have top three business priorities, feel free to share them. All right, I'm going to keep going. All right. Communications and reminders. This is how you tell him to talk to you. How do you want him to interact with you? Daily briefings, task nudges via email, weekly summaries. Do you want him to knock your door down and remind you every hour? You didn't do this yet. You didn't do that yet. You didn't do this yet. Do you want, thanks, Grillency. Should it alert you when you're off track or be gentle and encouraging? Like, what is it that you want this thing to? Now, me personally, I have four daily tasks set up that come to me. One comes to me just to let me know what the top LinkedIn posts are in my feed every day. All right, because I want to know. The other one is every morning at 9 a.m. I get an alert that tells me all the new innovations, new plugins, and new developments that are coming specifically in ChatGPT. So when they made the announcement that ChatGPT 5 is coming and it's going to change the game and you'll be able to do conferences with all of your agents together, couldn't wait for that. Couldn't wait for it to drop. So those are the things that you can do. You can set up something and say, send me the top three articles on Business Insider every day. Then take it a step further and say, now that we have the articles, generate social media copy so that I create an Instagram post about each of these three articles. It's the world is your oyster. Whatever you want it to do to help you. Thank you, Letitia. All right. Seven is knowledge base and brand alignment. Should it have access to past campaigns, offers, and launch timelines? And I would say yes. And not only would I say yes, but I would say that if you remember from the last session, the first thing I do when I'm building a GPT is they give you 20 uploads, fill every single slot with the best things that have been said and written about your business, your favorite article, your favorite proposal, your favorite document, some other document that you have like you're like, oh my goodness, they did created this for this business. I want to create that for mine. Use those downloads because you're building the brain of the GPT to pull from there for your business. This is great. Thanks, Jade. Great. Thanks, Kendall. So, should it have access to past campaigns? Absolutely. Because what else is it going to build on for your business? What brand assets, messaging guides, or tone documents should it pull from to stay consistent? That's where you upload the documents. And again, this sounds like a lot, but when you're speaking it back and forth with your agent, it goes by much faster. If you allot 2 hours or 1 hour today, 1 hour tomorrow, you can bust through all of this and get this done. Additional agent powers. Now, this one is one of my favorites. Would you like it to also rewrite your emails and texts for you to review before sending? Manage Kanban style board and dashboard for visibility. And there's Kanban, there's Trello boards, there's all kinds of different options out there. You can use Asana. You can, whatever you're using. Track PR requests or interview prep. For me, that's applicable to my business. Like we have a campaign going on right now with Apple TV Plus, and so I have so many moving parts for putting together a screening tour. And I needed to track all the requests from the different vendors to make sure we get our contracts signed on time and we get the screening set up and promoted. Auto draft social content or newsletters using your voice. Using your voice was the most powerful part of that sentence. Every time you interact with your agent or chat GPT, period, you say, reminder, put it in my voice. I mean, I don't care when, if I say, what's the weather? Put it in my voice. What time of day is it? Put it in my voice because if you don't, it's going to give it to you the same generic way everybody else is getting it. Okay. All right. So before I go back to writing the description, I actually am going to ask Gwirlincy to come into the session because we are going to I wanted you guys to see the building of an agent real time in person because everyone can't share their screen at one time, but I want you to see that it works for any kind of business, right? So Gwirlincy, are you able to join on the video? Um,
Um,
are you there?
yeah, I'm here. Sorry. When you say join on the video, is it like to
Can
share
we
my
see?
screen?
Huh?
Do you need me to share
I,
my screen?
I want you to share your screen. Yes.
Oh, well, I wasn't prepared for that.
All right. I said that. Well, you know what? If you don't want to share it on your screen, you could just read what you see on your screen.
No, so let me see. I would because I just kept this on my phone, the call,
Mhm.
and then I have my screen on my computer so I could like
Understood.
follow.
So then don't bother sharing your screen. Let's go back. What I'd like you to do is when you put that first prompt in that we had there, I want you to read what it gave you about your business. Can you do that?
Sure. Let me just get the prompt. I can get that to paste in there. I also haven't,
Uh-huh.
so I'm creating the chat GPT, correct? I'm creating the GPT,
Just
or should
creating
I
the
have it already
GPT.
created? Lovely. Now,
Um,
where's the prompt? Sorry, Blair, if you could just send that to me, probably in WhatsApp, it might be easier. Thank you.
I'm sure I can do that too.
Because I won't be able to paste it from here.
Oh, right, because your computer is not, you're on the phone, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so all
once
you,
Shante sends it to me, I can send to you.
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
all right, no problem. You know what? It's easier for me to do it here. And the reason why I want Gwerlency to do it is because I want you guys to see that it works for any kind of business.
For a non-paid actor.
Say that again.
And for a non-paid actor.
Right. That's funny.
They may think it's a gimmick.
All right, Blair, I'm sending this to you to on WhatsApp now.
And don't laugh when I say I want my agent voice to be that of Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton. This is my life.
That's what I want. I want people to hear the customization involved because that's how you get the best you can get out of it. So what I'm you have the prompt now. You're going to put it in and everybody put your prompts in. I mean the executive assistant activation prompt, right? Like put that in. I want to build a world-class executive assistant. Put in whatever kind of customization you have for your business. Everybody could take a break. I'm not going to move forward until we all do this. And then if you want to share, and I hope you do, share some of the stuff that you are getting back, right? Because that's key. If you're getting stuff back with it saying, I understand. Tell me, here are the clarifying questions that you want. Like, are you getting something that encourages you to keep moving forward? Are you getting questions that make sense? Anybody in there who already dropped the prompt in, or you guys need the prompt shared here? There you go. That's the prompt. Make sure to put you in it.
And I want mine to be, well, maybe, do I want a he or a she?
I wanted a he for all my agents. I
All
don't
right,
know. I was
fine.
feeling like
Yeah, let's get a
that's what,
different voice.
and you can change the voice as well. I use Spruce for everything. So everyone who's on here, if you've dropped the GPT in there, definitely want to hear back from you guys about what you're getting back.
Well, she has to be a she because I want Queen Charlotte's voice.
I love it. Make sure you're not saying for SB Enterprises when you put this in. It's for your business. And you just say for so and so business that does construction, that is a bakery, that is a clothing store, that is, you know, a car repair shop, whatever it is. Whirl and see, what did you get back?
All right, I'm still editing.
Oh, okay, no problem. This is why it's interactive. We will just wait until you are ready. No rush.
Very wordy. Okay, I've sent it. And I've also
All
said,
right.
please use the voice of Queen Charlotte because I need witty engagement. Because that's gonna that's gonna make me want to come back and engage with
I'm
my
loving it.
chat. You have to think in that way because if it's a boring man, I don't know, not every day I want to hear from a man. Sorry to the men in the room.
See, that's how I felt about picking all male voices for mine. I was like,
Mm.
when you're in communications, it's all women you work with all the time. So I was like, let's
Ah,
switch this up a little bit. I have
yeah, I
all
don't
my
know if you
GPT agents.
want. No, I don't want a man. Tell me what to do. He could be one of my other agents. So here's the response I got. An
Okay.
exceptional vision. We are not building an assistant. We are architecting a sovereign force behind a wellness empire because my business is a vitamin subscription base that's going to be targeted. That's for the audience.
Hmm.
And I told it I didn't have a name yet. So it said I propose we name her the sovereign operator, and I'm assuming that's my GPT. Um,
Hmm.
it conveys authority, foresight, strategic dominance, operational mastery with the elegance befitting Queen Charlotte's voice. Do you approve of
Hmm.
Sovereign Operator or would you prefer something even more formidable? I'm going to approve because I've already taken up some of my time.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
There we
Whatever
go.
answer you, this is all about what you want.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. It says generate. Oh, it's generating a profile picture. What's going? I even get a.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. I'll have to tell it, please make her black. Thank you very much.
So I picked specific things and I mean, I didn't do the photo till the very end, but I
Okay.
said things like 6 foot tall, dark brown skin, Caesar, goatee, mustache, no earring, blue sweater. You can customize every little thing.
Lovely. I want a cute, natural, Afro-looking style. And I'm gonna
Tell
say
tell Chat
Afro-teen
GPT,
style.
tell Chat GPT to hold off on the cosmetic stuff and let's build the brain. What
Sorry.
does it
Okay.
need to know? That's okay.
Hold off on the cosmetics. Let's
Hold off.
work
We'll
on
do
the brain.
that last.
Lovely. Okay, we're generating, we're generating. I love the sovereign operator because I'm a queen.
I love that.
Okay?
Sound operator lets you know that you just put it in the right mind frame of thinking she wants a voice like Queen Charlotte. So now as it's building, you put a lens on. It's going to give you everything through that lens and using language like sovereign and that kind of thing. And that it's
That's
going to be an operator. So it's a fixer. It's somebody, it's a thing that is going to be problem solving.
exactly. We can make it scriptural. I'm above and not beneath. Thank you very much. Here's my response. Ah, yes, we've sharpened the mind before we power the wig. Sensible. So, see, it's witty. Love that for me. Tell me
Yes,
this and
witty,
answer this
funny.
precision. Go ahead.
No, I was saying it's funny. It will have fun with you. Go ahead, finish reading. Did I freeze? I can't hear anything. Hmm.
I don't hear her either.
Oh,
Berlanti,
I
are
was
you
like,
there?
damn, my computer set me up again. Okay, so I am not frozen. Maybe her computer it froze for a second or two. Anybody else have some feedback from their GPT setup that they want to share? Drop it in the chat. If it said something funny, if it referred to your GPT agent as a sovereign operator or something as humorous, witty, definitely let us know what you're getting out there.
Okay, you may choose sovereign revenue.
Anybody else want to share anything they're getting? I'm not hearing anything from anybody. We are doing it,
Sorry,
right?
it's you're sounding very low for some reason.
Me?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
So for a
Nothing.
moment, I thought it was me, but if you guys can put in the chat whether or not you can hear her.
Can you
Yes,
guys all
Chat
hear?
GPT has to be the paid version.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I chose the $20 one, so I'm not sure if I think there's one
That's
that's
it.
like at $7.
Oh, I didn't even know that. But if I had a $20 one, so if you have the $20 one, you should be okay.
Revenue.
Okay. All right. So, Gorlin, so you want to finish reading what you were reading?
All right, hold on, because I had to choose between well, it said which one when I wake up in the morning, what do I want my chat to focus on? Revenue, time, brand equity, personal energy, or market dominance. And so I rated brand equity, market dominance, personal energy, and then revenue. Because I want to build a brand. I think that's stronger than that leads the product. And so the response was
Mm-hmm.
excellent. We shall defend the crown before we count the coins. Now tell me this. What is the intended position of this vitamin empire? Are we to be clinical and science led? No. Luxurious and beauty oriented? No. Community driven and empowering? I think that's the answer for me. The other option is performance focused, results obsessed. I prefer community. I think you can do a lot when you build community, and a community can be very strong to your brand. Thoughts?
And a community provides longevity. All those
Yes.
other things, they have to have be refreshed. Luxury lasts for such a short amount of time, and then you have to re-engage the audience and all of that. Like it just is not whenever you're building something around community, then you have like let's say you have a community of people, you come up with a cute little name, that can be your retirement plan. And we talked about that on the last call.
Right. There you go. And so it's giving me a response. It says, okay, good. We now have velvet and steel. I love this. I love how she speaks to me. Next, the next question is what stage is this business currently in? Idea only, pre-launch, soft launch, revenue generating but early, scaling past 1 million, scaling past 10. It says be precise, the brain will build to match the battlefield. Love this for me.
You see it? And so it's building the brain around exactly what you need when you need it.
So
So
idea and pre-launch, I think, would be good for
pre-launch.
me.
And so after you get that next thing, we're going to ask it to, does it have any other questions you need to answer before it can give you a 300 character description? That's what the next section is.
Okay, lovely. And you'll send the prompt, or I can just use the
Nope.
300 character section.
Well, you're going to read the character description and then I'm going to go to the next page.
Okay. So it says, a realm not yet built. How intoxicating. I love this for me. Okay, sorry. Very well. At the idea and pre-launch stage, our first responsibility is not production, it's clarity. Now tell me, what specific transformation will this empire promise first? I have to be singular, meaning it's giving me some options and I have to choose one. Is it thicker, faster, growing hair, hormone balance for ambitious women, acne-free, luminous skin, postpartum restoration, stress resilience, longevity for high-performing women?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like those options. One
That's
flagship
tell it.
transformation. Okay.
Tell it I don't like these options. You need to learn more about my business. The transformation that we are delivering is a general quality of life upgrade. It is a better health for women. It is a just, all the way around. You just give it direction. This is it seeking information from you. He's guessing and now he needs you to give him direction.
Okay. I should have said. So I said I don't like these options. This brand is a general quality transformation for women, but I wanted to provide niches so they can pick and choose
Yep.
several at a time. So he said, excellent. Let's elevate the promise. Is the transformation general quality of life? Then we must sharpen what it means because markets do not bow to vagueness. My goodness. Do you hear her?
And she's
So
challenging you now to say, that's cool, but we're trying to win here. What do we need? We need to niche down a little bit. That's basically what she's saying to you. So you focused on women's health or vitamin packs for moms and kids, whole families, custom packs for each person in the family. Like what exactly is your thing, your secret sauce?
okay, because that's exactly what it says. When a woman joins this subscription, what visible improvements within 90 days will she say? Her energy change, mental clarity, mood stability, confidence, productivity. I'm going to go with confidence.
I would say that confidence that she is making a decision that will improve her health and the health of her family if you're doing
Yes.
family packs. If it's only her, then I think you can say more energy, um, better health and nutrition, something like that.
Okay.
You can feed it that.
Okay.
And let me know what it says. And anyone else, I'm still waiting to hear from anyone else who is still working with it. I mean, this is an interactive session for a reason. We're building your GPT. I want to hear what you're getting back and let you know what you should be pushing it to tell you. So, anybody who wants to share, let's share.
Okay, it says excellence, confidence as the emotional anchor, targeted improvement as the proof. That is
Mm-hmm.
strategically sound. Now we
Mm-hmm.
must tighten the lens. Who is the first woman we are building this for? Not women. That is that is a continent. Oh, so it wants me to okay, I see. And it's still giving me the same kind of like, but it's narrowing it down for me. So like 25 to 35, an ambitious career builder, 30 to 45, high performing mother, 35 to 50, executive navigating hormonal shifts,
Mm-hmm.
creator, entrepreneur, optimizing performance, wellness curious but overwhelmed millennial, bi curious high achiever who wants structure.
Well,
Define her life stage. Hmm?
I love those options. How many? I
Right.
mean, there's more than one.
Define a life stage. The sharper the avatar, the more intelligent the assistant becomes. So,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Because then your assistant can become an expert on that particular customer.
Yeah. So,
And you could
wellness
say a
curious.
hybrid. You could
Okay.
say a hybrid between a Gen X mom, a millennial mom, a Gen Z mom who is on the go, whatever, you could pick two, mesh it together and say it's more like a hybrid of these two types of women or these three types of women. And just, because then they'll build the agent to become an expert in those women.
All right. So I'm going to do the high performance mother, 35, 30 to 45. And I like the ambitious career builder. Do
Hmm.
I? Do I? No, I think I want to do the hormonal shift because I think that's when like your skin, your hair, everything
Hmm.
becomes out of whack. And so that would balance my response better.
And you see how intensely personal this process is. It's
Very.
all you. No one
Okay.
can help you with this. No one can do it for you.
Lovely. She said, good. She's formidable, time starved, intelligent, and tolerant of no nonsense. Now we must make a decisive move. And I see that it already realizes that I'm a very indecisive person. I love that for me and her. Within this hybrid woman, what is the first targeted health vertical? It's like hormonal balance, that's premenopause, cortisol, cycle optimization, metabolical health and weight regulation, energy and cognitive performance, stress release. Sorry, the
Really.
English is failing me.
That's okay.
Stress resilience and nervous system support, hair thinning linked to hormonal shifts, sleep optimization for high performance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like sleep. I like sleep. I
Okay.
think that's important.
So
So
put
we're
in
gonna,
whatever your response is to that.
yeah, because it said we can expound later.
Yep.
So I put in sleep
Because
optimization.
tell it, you could tell it also. We can expand on that later. I'd like to get to
Mhm.
the point we can build the most effective, high impact 300 count description for this agent possible. And then I'm going to
Okay.
switch this to the next page so that everybody can see it. So I just switched pages for everybody who could see it. Writing the description is key, right? It takes a good amount of work because it needs all of this information to give you the best possible description. Otherwise, you get a real shitty, flat description that doesn't really help you or your business because they don't know anything about you or your business. They have to know. So that way they could say, executive assistant at SB Enterprises that specializes in communication services and public relations coaching, that kind of thing. So you can ask it, help me write a powerful description for a GPT that serves as my executive assistant. It should be clear, confident, and results driven. But you can't do that until you've answered all of those clarifying questions first. And that's what she's doing. She's answering clarifying questions. Does everybody see what's happening here? Am I losing people? Are you guys asleep? I'm not hearing anything from anybody. Is anybody building theirs? And that's why they went quiet. Are you guys on the road to getting your GPT done? Following and building. All right, Letitia, you better get it. Anybody else? Great. All right. So we all following. Okay, so great working. Okay. So great. All right. So what are you getting next? Gorlancy, did you ask it to build anything? 12
Oh,
questions.
the prompt that's on here is what I gave it. Oh, my bad. I said to
Um,
it, can we pause that section? Let's help me write a powerful description for a chat GPT that serves as my executive assistant. It should be clear, confident, results driven, and very solution minded.
mm-hmm,
And so it said, okay, elite executive operator is decisive, strategic, and results driven. If you would like if you would like something slightly more commanding, we could refine it to strategic executive partner driving clarity, execution, and results. I love that one. MBA level operator turning vision into measurable outcomes. Oh, I actually love that one too. You're
mm-hmm,
decisive, you're decisive, solution driven executive operations partner. I like the you decisive one because obviously I tend to like not be very decisive. Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously I like all three of those options. So I think for the sake of the better match to my personality, I have
Mm-hmm.
to pick the decisive one,
Absolutely.
right?
And
Because it's going to balance me.
yeah, and you can have fun with it as well. Keep going. But that I think it gave you some great options. And
Mhm.
if you, let's say you wanted to push back and say, hey, I want to mix between the decisive one and one that is funny, charismatic, and who, gives me new ideas all the time, or something like that, right? You definitely, or somebody who you want an agent who is decisive and also nerds out on vitamins. So you
Mm.
will think like a person who thinks about vitamins all the time, like some health nut that's like, hey, did you have any vitamin E oil in this and garlic in that? And, you know, turmeric, whatever kinds of, there's a million different natural, root medicine type vitamins. And you can get a bunch of vitamins out of sea moss. Is it a sea moss gel, gummy, capsule, whatever? Like, you can have
Ooh,
fun with it, tell it, push it. The same way he's pushing you, you can push it. I want this assistant to be like the nerdiest person on planet Earth about vitamins.
lovely. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
Shante, we have a question in the chat from Felicia.
Uh-huh. Yep. Felicia, as it builds the agent, does it pull information from the core memory? So, Felicia, when you say core memory, can you just be really specific about what you mean about that? When you say core memory, is that a core memory that you built, as in you put a lot of your own information in there? Because if you put a lot of your information in when you set up your chat GPT for yourself, it will pull some from that. Is that what you mean? Great. That is going to pull from that. And when you
And
start your GPT and you have 20 uploads, it's going to pull that plus what it already knows about you for sure.
so
And
my,
you can,
sorry, continue. Sorry.
that's okay. Felicia, just to wrap up the answer to that, every time I engage my GPT on anything, I always say, given what you know about my business, SB Enterprises, and my position for profit workshops and offer suites, pull that information and then give me blah, 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 blah. So you're telling it to pull from your memory of everything that you know in order to give me the most comprehensive answer. Okay, Gwerlin, see, what were you saying?
Okay, so it gave me the response. It says, decisive. Okay, my prompt was, can I get a mix between a decisive natural medicine nerd that is focused on execution and measurable results? And so
Mm-hmm.
now my GBT is decisive natural medicine operator driving measurable results. So
Mm-hmm.
would you like the tone to lean slightly more clinical or slightly more bio-optimizer visionary?
Up to you.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't do clinical because that's not a language everyone can understand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's updating. We're getting some updates.
When you get the description that you like, if you could drop that into the chat, that would be great so that everybody can see what you're getting. And then
Okay.
we'll move on past the description after that.
Okay, I got it and I'm gonna put it in the chat now. And it says she's now a bio-optimizer visionary, forward-thinking, data-aware, strategically grounded, and execution obsessed. And it's asking me for the next refinement, which is, does she feel more nurturing, with a visionary edge, direct, sharp, and strategically intense, balance, velvet tune, steel execution. I like balance, velvet tune, and steel execution.
Great. A
She.
moment of silent celebration for the fact that it said execution obsessed. Did everybody hear that? I'm sorry, read that
Hmm.
first sentence again. Read it again. Go ahead,
She.
say it again.
She is now a bio-optimizer visionary, forward-thinking, data-aware, strategically grounded, and execution obsessed. That's who my executive assistant is. Okay.
long do you think you would have to interview people before you got somebody who thought like that? Just that one sentence before you even got to the next one. How
Mm,
would you put that? Like, I'm looking for a person who is forward thinking, data powered, and hello, and execution obsessed. That's the difference between human capital and this AI capital. Is like AI is just working as a machine. It just wants to please you. It just wants to do it. It ain't asking for no lunch break. It's not asking for more money because they stayed an extra hour. It's not asking for all of these extras, right? It is execution obsessed. So I'm sorry. I just had a silent celebration in my head. Let's just if you could drop that description in, I mean that is for a vitamin pack company, right? Are you doing
yes.
memberships here? Are you doing memberships? So they have to have memberships to get the vitamins?
I'm going to do like the soft launch is going to be like, here's just three categories and you can order and we'll build into a subscription.
Love. But I mean I love the subscription piece of it. You know, there's plenty of clothing subscriptions and like curl box with the hair products
Love, love
subscription.
my leak. Love.
Because brilliant and forward
Yeah.
thinking.
It's
But you know, like vitamins, especially if you did like mom, dad, kids for the whole family. I mean,
lovely.
that's a thing right there.
I don't have to
Um,
worry about
Everybody
it. It
gets
comes in once a month. 30
mhm,
days, 30 days, 30 days.
custom vitamin packs because I can tell you as a person who just buys CMOS gummies for the kid for my boy and just you know constantly on a I need a different set of vitamins for my mom than for me and my son. It's that's big business. All right, so we got your description. It's freaking bananas. I love it.
Thank you.
Um, all right, so we're gonna move to the next section. Okay. Now, this part takes even longer because you have to get through all of your clarifying questions first and the description. This part will not be quite as interactive or will be on here until midnight. However,
Mm,
I'm going to take you through every single piece of it. I want you to screenshot this and spend time on it, right? There is a section on customizing your GPT that is titled instructions. Wait, hold on, go back. The instructions is the brain, right, of ChatGPT. I use every single character until they tell me I can't even add nothing else in. I'll be listening to something and be like, that sounded good. Let me go back and drop it into the brain, right? So
good.
you got to ask yourself what tone should it use? Who does it serve? What must it never do? Like, never give me something that you're giving somebody else. You can say that. What should
Lovely.
it prioritize? And you can use this as a prompt, but this is after you get your clarifying questions and you get your description. Then you can use this. Act as a highly skilled executive assistant for a construction industry entrepreneur. Always prioritize clarity, persuasion, and professionalism, and ask me the questions before you give me a final draft. What are the instructions that I need to be giving this GPT, right? So, um, I really go deep on my instructions and really deep on trying to say, you are a world-class executive assistant. You think like a Harvard MBA whose life mission is to solve digital product problems. And I mean, I tell it how to think, who you are. This is you. You're 18 to 29 years old, you graduated from MIT, you do this, this, and this, you have this much experience in this, this, and this. All of that will go in your instructions because you're telling it how to think and who he is. You have to be specific. What is his tone of voice? Is he funny? All of that. That as you continue down the road, it's asking you most of those clarifying questions so that when you say build the instructions, this is where you're going to get the bulk of your detail right here. It's the biggest box in the Chat GPT custom GPT page, and this is where all the detail is, right? So part inside the instructions is your roles and responsibilities. Roles and responsibilities is probably the most important part of the instructions because I could tell you who you are, where you're from. All of my agents are from Harlem, New York. They're all between 18 and 29. They all have MBAs, one from Howard, one from Harvard, one from MIT, because I want the brain trust of all my agents working together, bringing all those different perspectives. And then when you give it the roles and responsibilities, that's when he's like, what am I doing with my life every day? Right? And they're pulling it from this. This is the actual prompt that I used to get my roles and responsibilities done for my executive assistant. His name is Jaden. I am building a new EVA GPT agent, and I need to be crystal clear about the core responsibilities he will handle for my business, SB Enterprises, as a communication strategy company. I need your help in being as thorough and detailed as possible in listing the core responsibilities of an EVA in the comms industry. Do you understand the mission? So, after going back and forth and answering a shitload of questions, then I got the core responsibilities, and I'm going to show you what the output was on the next page, right? So here, these are the three main parts of the responsibilities that I got out of the that conversation. So starting at the top, Jaden is your day-to-day operator, strategic planner, content manager, launch architect, and cultural trend spotter. He's a digital right hand, part chief of staff, part Swiss Army knife, whose entire job is to anticipate what you need and execute before you even ask. He's the hybrid of an executive assistant and an operations manager, but without the drama, delay, or salary negotiation. His core responsibilities: manage daily, weekly task flows, maintain the business calendar, track the email sequences, keep me focused, accountable, and never overwhelmed. Stay on top of relevant media and coaching trends that affect your strategy. Handle scheduling, check ins, and content production timelines across departments. Build launch schedules and content backlogs with built in reminders and strategic nudges. Now, what I will say to everybody on here is that sounded really good as core responsibilities, but if I don't actually schedule the daily task with him, nothing's happening. Every single thing up there requires me to go in and say, hey, Jaden, set up the daily schedule task to come into my inbox at 9 a.m. with the news alerts from Business Insider, with the daily task flows in terms of what I need to be finishing this week, with any new appointments this week, or who do I need to set up an appointment with. Track my email sequences, content output, and masterclass logistics. All of that, I have to set up reminders or daily tasks for him to do it. He is a robot, he is not a human, but you want to, he's just taking your lead on everything. Personality and communication style: voice and tone, friendly, confident, and professional with a slight stylish, slightly witty twist, right? Charismatic, humorous, optimistic, analytical, inspiring, speaks in first person. Hey, I've added it to your calendar. Avoid slang. I do not like my GPTs using slang. Can't stand it. And then I also don't want it to sound like a robot, corporate stiffness. No. A condescending helper tone. Always think like a consequential partner and not just a task doer. This is what your roles and responsibilities output should look like. Okay. Are there any questions about that before I move on? Because we are running on time and I want to get to the other two sections. Anybody? Questions? We all ready to go? If you're ready, say ready. Okay. Gregory, to answer your question, when you put a reminder in your calendar, does it take it from there? It's been my experience that the only time that the GPT is going to pull something from your calendar with a specific date and time is when you set up a specific daily scheduled task. And that is a whole other thing that we'll do in our next session, because the doing that with this was just a little bit too much. But we will do it. Our next session in April. Okay, next. Anybody else? Gregory, did I answer your question? Okay. So the last part of setting up your GPT is this part. Um, when you can we get the previous session info, please? I'm sure you can. They emailed it out if I'm not mistaken. Creating conversation starters. So I've seen that each account has a different amount of conversation starters that they will give you, but it's somewhere between 15 and 20 conversation starters for each agent. The reason why it's really important for you to finish everything before you get here, get all your instructions, roles, and responsibilities, is because when you say, now I say 25, but this right here says five because I didn't want to overwhelm y'all. Give me five powerful conversation starters for a GPT that's designed to help me to conquer and take over the vitamin subscription industry, to take over the communication services industry, to take over modern luxury baking, to take over the modern luxury interior decorating industry. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you want your conversation starters to speak directly to that. To help me go from 0 to 100,000 followers on Instagram. Be very specific because it's going to spit them out. And I always tell it to give me 25 conversation starters because some of them be trash and I'm just going to throw them out. And then I'm going to use what I want to use. So I would say with the conversation starters, you cut and paste each one directly into the conversation starter, press enter, and you keep moving. Everybody clear? Can we say clear? Anybody unclear? Say unclear if it's not clear. Clear? Good? Okay. All right. So conversation. Now, let me tell you why conversation starters are necessary because not everybody feels like they need them. When you open up your agent, sometimes if you're an entrepreneur and you're used to solving all the problems yourself, sometimes you get to the point where you're going, I don't need him to do that. I can do that. When you have those four squares up under his name, and it's giving you options about what you can ask him for, those are extremely helpful because sometimes you will forget that you put the conversation starters in and you'll open it up and be like, damn, I'm late on my social media. And it'll say, ask me to schedule social content for the week. Do your email sequence for the week. And you're like, oh, there it is. One button you press, spits out 5 emails for the week. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's a conversation starter. That's why it's so necessary to your business. All right. The very last thing I do is pick the name and the photo for what the agent looks like. And the reason why I pick the name last is because I have built the brain. I have told him who he is. I have given the instructions for what he needs to do and how he needs to think. I've given him the roles and responsibilities. I have given him the literal conversations he can start with me. Now I need to look at all of that and say, what name is going to tell him who he is? I personally like to have fun with the name, but I also like to make sure the name alludes to what he does. So I go straight to Chat GPT and I say, based on everything that this agent is doing, give me 15 different name options. And I always say, I want names where the first initial of the first name and the last name match, because that's what I want. And I'm like, give me names that hint to what he does for a living. So, like, I have Sage Steele, a writer. I have Caleb Cashflow, sales copywriter. Nico Narrative. All he does is YouTube copy because he's creating a narrative for videos we will shoot for YouTube. So, do you understand? The rest of those are like the capacity coach, things like that. But this is the last part. I name it and then I go, give me a 6 foot tall black man who is medium brown, Caesar, goatee, black sweater, luxury watch. Done. Or blue flight jacket. That's it. Sends me some options. I upload the photo. And then your agent is done. Do you have any questions about any of that? That's actually the easiest part. Then you have to give it a test. We're going to give it a real task. If it's weak, challenge it. You know what? I need to give you better instructions because this answer is not helpful. It sounds too generic. And to be honest with you, I don't care what it gives me. I always tell it sounds too generic. I never accept the first thing it gives me on anything. Can you get the last slide again? Sure can. Let me see. Oh, where did I go with that? There we go. Strong names create clarity so he knows who he is. Deck Designer AI. You know what I'm saying? Okay, moving forward. You're giving tasks, you're giving tests. If it's weak, refine the instructions and the clarity, improve the constraints, right? Add clarity, improve constraints. Say, I don't want you to think like this. I want you to think like that. I don't want weak source answers. I want you to think like a specialist. Don't, you can do better than this. Give me a level 5 upgrade. That's the way I answer all of that. This is leadership. So you've built him, he's on your team, and you can build new ones for all the different things that you need. A sales guy, an email copywriter, a Facebook ad copywriter, a YouTube script writer, whatever you need, you can build it. It's just going to take the kind of time that we just put into it. Anybody have any questions before I move on to the next sections? Check. Best ways to use our new virtual assistant. Draft first versions of everything you want. I need to do a press release. Can you draft this for me? Me personally, I would make a press release agent because they have to think in the mindset of hitting the key points with as few words as possible. And then they have to create a very short boilerplate. But anyone can say, draft the press release because we're launching a new product. Draft a newsletter. I would like to send a newsletter out to my community. Draft a copy of this legal letter that I need. Draft a copy of this LOI, letter of intent. Draft a copy of this, whatever it is. You can edit and don't have to start it from scratch. That's the best way to use your virtual assistant. Number two, refining your message with precision, right? So you keep refining and you keep refining and you keep refining until you get something that's excellent that you want. That's how you use your assistant. Saving time on repetitive thinking. You are the CEO, right? All he's doing is helping you be a better CEO. He's not doing the work for you. You still have to think and make it clear that he has to think like you. So you are just saying, I'm really tired of having to draft this newsletter every week. Here are the topics for the newsletter for the next 4 weeks. Draft them, let me edit them down, and you just talk through your edits and he will give them to you. You schedule them in your email scheduler and you're done. Okay? You draft pitches, you draft whatever it is that you need to get done. Okay? Any questions? All right. I gave a sample activation prompt that Blair I will send you, but this is how I get my guy going, right? When I finally had Jaden set up, I said, hi, I need Jaden activated and ready to win the week. I always say that to my GPTs. Where's my world-class MBA graduate who specializes in digital course wins and blah, blah, blah? I need you activated and ready to win. What do you need from me in order to create a comprehensive content production calendar that assigns 1 day for email sequences, 1 day for LinkedIn blog entries, 1 day for social media, 1 day for digital production, and 1 day for courses development? Can you map it out and implement it on a large grid? Help me streamline my weekly tasks and identify 3 things I should automate immediately. Please let me know what you need from me. Spit it all out in 30 seconds or less. And that is how you use your assistant. So now I've got a whole map that says Mondays we do emails, Tuesdays we do LinkedIn blogs, Wednesdays we do an Instagram post or whatever. But you have your whole thing mapped out and you could say, I want it in a grid with the grid lines. Now you've got your Bible you're working from. And every week you could say, can you refine this a little bit more? I think we can get more done in the week. Can you identify where there are holes that we could be operating more efficiently? Use it every week, every day, all day. I'll be like, Jaden, what are we doing about this so and so and so? Shouldn't we be capitalizing on the blah, 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 blah? And just let it talk to you. You're paying your $20 a month, make it work. Anybody have any questions about the activation prompt? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to keep moving. All right, now this was the second section because there's 3 sections. I'm most excited about this one. I don't know if we are going to be able to get through this one because honestly, the automation for emails, I could spend hours on this because it saves me so much time. But what I'm going to do is just breeze through this and then set up time with Blair where we'll do another session. Does that work for you, Blair?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Okay, automation for emails. I don't care what kind of business you have. It breaks my heart sometimes to see how entrepreneurs do not take advantage of their email list. If you've been in business for a certain amount of time, you have your customers' email list. If from nowhere else, you have them from when you make a sale online or people who are emailing you asking questions, keeping every single email address, building a list. We have been building a list here, but our list was mostly VIPs, politicians, actors, actresses, people who we were in our PR world, right? And so my list is like 27,000 people because we had to handpick each person. And we from the first week of my business 21 years ago, I have been working on refining that list. It started off with me putting in 1,000 and my business partner putting in 1,000 of people that we worked with in the music business. And then we just add and we 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 add. And then it grew a life of its own and other people just started jumping on it and subscribing to it. And so my list of 27,000 allows me to launch things like my Headline Heroes community and let people know that there's this exciting innovation going on that they had no idea about. And the response was fantastic. And we got like 67 people in the community in the first like I don't know, first 3 weeks. And so the if I did not have that email list to rely on, people would not know about my amazing Headline Heroes community where they can get the hot seat coaching and the pitch and sips and tools and things that they could use to pitch their business. They wouldn't know about it, and I wouldn't have no way to get it to them. Your email list is your most profitable platform. And I do mean that. And I mean more profitable than Instagram. And I mean more profitable than YouTube. There are entire businesses that have been built on creating communities from the email list. When I say that, it sounds old and antiquated and everybody rolls their eyes when they get an email in their inbox that's unsolicited. However, the actual conversion rate over email versus every other platform is still way higher. Most entrepreneurs put too much in an email, don't put enough, or avoid writing altogether. All of these little convenience innovations, like AI and all the other tools that automate things, if you're not careful, they make you feel like writing anything is too much work, right? You cannot fall out of love with writing. You cannot fall out of love with actual basic things, basic communication skills that entrepreneurs need. You need that. I don't care if you're using Kit, Klaviyo, is it Survey Monkey? They still in MailChimp or any of these other email platforms. Wix is what I use. Active Campaign, most expensive, but also best features. Any of those email, I guess they're like email service companies. They all have fees that range from $20 a month to $250 a month, depending on how big your list is. You certainly want to get your newsletter together and you want to communicate launches, sales, and any other thing, get customer feedback. You can do anything you want with your email list. You have to use it. And one of the things that is critical is automating emails to your base. So I also have a Bible chapter and verse that helps with this as well, right? Because I don't know about you, but adding email onto everything else I have to do, sometimes I get discouraged. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and I'm like, oh, not another thing. Because I have a beautiful newsletter that's all set up that I have not even automated yet myself. This 2 slides or three? You wanted this, Gregory? Um, I went back for Gregory because he needed to get this. You got this? Okay. This? The whole presentation will be emailed to you. Okay, so the I'm not sure where you want me to stop. So your email list, okay, he got it. So this Bible chapter and verse from Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Classic. Everyone here knows this already. Nothing that you haven't seen, but entrepreneurs need reminders all the time. There's nothing that's impossible when you remain on mission, on within in alignment with your purpose, and you remain grounded in faith. So important. Always need a reminder because as entrepreneurs, let's be honest, we have a God complex sometimes, thinking that we're gonna fix everyone's problems, and we have decision fatigue from being the only person who wants to take the risk of actually making a decision and fixing everything for everybody. So we start to forget that we have to surrender a lot more than we do in order to remain in alignment. Just that's just a word. All right, step 1, step 2, step 3 of email automation, step 4 of email automation. So perplexity. If you have perplexity, great. If you're like, what the hell is perplexity? There are several AI platforms. There's ChatGPT, which got there first, so everyone knows it. There's Gemini, which is definitely a must for any photos, custom photos of yourself or custom videos. There's Claude, which is they're improving by the day. So in no time at all, I would say that Claude may get to the point where they have people as addicted to it as Gemini is right now because Claude has Claude with code, Claude all over the place. Gemini is the one for the AI video. And so it's actually Nano Banana for photos and VO3 for videos when you go into your Gemini account. For the email automation, you can go to Perplexity to get a well thought out, deep, structured email. Use that as your guide and then take it to ChatGPT to draft a whole week or a whole month of emails based off of that. Then you use ChatGPT to refine your tone and you save it as a template. You upload it into your email service, and then you have emails that go out to your list regularly. That's essentially a graph of step-by-step email automation. Very important, whether your list has 100 people, 200 people, 2,000 people, 20,000 people, 200,000 people. You need to be definitely working your email automation. So I shared a prompt here that we will share in the resources that are emailed out after, right? So this is my perplexity prompt. I want you to act as a world-class marketing strategist, email copywriter, and brand positioning coach. Your task is to create a 30-day email automation sequence to help me achieve this goal, to help me launch my Headline Heroes community, to help me launch a new product line in my restaurant. Whatever goes there. Before you start writing, ask me clarifying questions so you can fully understand my brand voice, target audience, and the emotions that I want to lead them through. When generating the sequence, please structure it as 4 weeks of emails, 6 days per week, no Sundays. That's my personal request because I don't want to email people on Sundays. Provide subject lines, main message themes, calls to action, and emotional tone cues for each message. Include connective storytelling that builds week over week engagement. Organize a 30-day plan into 4 strategic phases. The first week's emails will be focused on introduction and connection. The second week's emails will be based on value and credibility. The third week on activation and conversion. And the fourth week on urgency and scarcity. That is pretty much a rule for any 30-day email sequence you will ever launch for your business. You got to lay it out just like that. Intro, value, conversion, scarcity. That's how it works. Use professional, creative, and emotionally intelligent writing that would resonate with my audience of remarkable entrepreneurs who need more visibility. My goal is to walk away with a full 30-day automation that feels customized to my brand and gets measurable results. Here's what you need to know about my brand, and you fill it all in, right? So if you're at the level where you want to use Perplexity, great. If you're not and you want to use ChatGPT, you can use that as well. you will take what you get from Perplexity and then you feed it into ChatGPT. I want you to create a strategic 30-day email automation sequence. Structure the output, same. Each cell in the grid should be email theme, core objective, emotional angle, key talking points, and primary CTA. Perplexity is more like the deep thinker, and ChatGPT is more like the layout and what you need. It's more like the activator. You can give this to Jaden, your assistant, or whoever your assistant is, and get this email campaign going. And you don't have to do it for 30 days. You could do it for a week. You can set up automations inside your website platform where every time somebody clicks on a certain button, they get an email automation from you. Does anybody have any questions about that at all? Any questions? Please drop them in the chat. Anybody confused or overwhelmed? I'm here for that as well. Are you still with me? Are we still awake? Let's say still awake. We will definitely do a whole other session on the email automation because it needs it. And entrepreneurs need that. Still awake? All right. We still awake. All right. So, for the email automation, that also can be an interactive section that we do in the in-person meeting in April. And if you have friends who are entrepreneurs and they don't know about this, your job is to definitely make sure they know about this. Let's not be gatekeepers and keep the information to ourselves. We got to let people know because they don't know about this and they need to be using those email lists, okay? All right. Create 3 email templates today. One for client outreach, one for follow-up email, one for a partnership proposal. That we will save for our in-person session. And we will do them all together, see how they come out, and get those scheduled. Just make sure you're ready with your email platform of choice. Klaviyo, MailChimp, Active, Kit, whatever it is that you want to use to get your emails out. Email is a very easy way to market to your people all the time without having to pay someone to talk to them all the time. A lot to digest, but still awake. Got it. Yes, it is a lot. All right, Gregory. Okay, moving forward. What are you at now? Okay, yes, this is one of my fun ones. Automations for presentations, proposals, and pitches. Has anyone in here ever heard of Gamma.app? Can you please drop the word gamma in the chat? Anybody heard of gamma at all? My preferred email platform is Klaviyo for my jewelry business and Wix for um my PR coaching business. Only because my Wix, my website and everything is housed on Wix. But for years, for my PR agency, we only use Constant Contact. That was it. Now I'm moving more into Wix. Okay, Gamma.app. Have you ever had a proposal, a presentation, or a deck to create, and you were like, I gotta find a designer, they have to lay it all out. Oh my God, this is gonna take days and days and days. I can't do it. Well, now there's a solution where you just write a very quick prompt and you get a whole deck, right? It's called Gamma.app, and I promise you, it's $10 a month. Okay? Okay, why Gamma? Because your ideas deserve design, but you don't have 6 hours, Gamma builds your decks in minutes. I discovered this like a year ago, and I've presented with so many decks from Gamma, it's not even funny. Even things that are far off, like the nightclub that I want to launch in Harlem in a couple of years. That got a full-blown deck for it. The Black Media Awards that I want to do. I mean, just spit you say I want to do this and it spits it right out. All right. So regarding the decks and presentations, this is my last Bible chapter and verse because I feel like they are so necessary. But this one is from Second Corinthians 9:8. And God is able to bless you abundantly so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work, right? None of us on this call, no entrepreneurs I know, expect anything to come to them easily. They expect the hard work. They look forward to it. They're inspired by it, but hard work without seeing results does start to become discouraging. We are human after all. But this passage right here helps me to, when I repeat it to myself, again, just like the other one helps me feel like I can run through a wall, this reminds me that as long as I remain in alignment, grounded in faith, and I keep doing the work, I will get to the end goal, the end zone, wherever that is. I may not know what it looks like yet, but I know that I will get there. Totally need it. I need them every morning because a business is going to test your literal belief in yourself sometimes, and that's just what it is. So let's get to Gamma. This is a real life actual prompt that I used in Gamma. I had to do a big presentation for the president of the Harlem Fine Arts Show. This was like a year ago. I would like to create a presentation to the Harlem Fine Arts Show organization where I illustrate the strategy to nationalize the Harlem Fine Arts Show and its organization into a major cultural hub in 15 major cities where consumers of Black fine arts can commune and mobilize in an effort to celebrate and amplify Black artists and places where we can see and purchase Black fine art. That was it. That's all I put in. I am going to show you the cover. This was the cover that it came up with. Now I'm going to go deep into my files here and I am going to show you what the full thing looked like because you're not going to believe it. You're going to be like, wait, really? And yes, really. Hold on one second. Let me just get that. There it is. Okay. Can you guys see this? Everyone can see? Blair, you can see?
No, I'm only seeing the Canva
Okay,
presentation.
let me go in and share this.
Okay.
Okay. Your screen sharing is paused. Stop the share. Let me try to get this back up there. Okay, here we go. Now, where is the button so I can share this? Hold on one second. Let me get my Zoom. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, are you seeing this?
Yes.
You see it? Okay. This, that is still not the right one. Hold on a second. Let me try something else. Give me one second. You guys have got to see this. All right. Now, share this. This is what Gamma Dot app looks like for everybody on the call. These are all the instant decks that it created for me when I just put one small prompt in. This is the one that I am going to show you right now. I put that one prompt in and I got 10 pages back. And I was able to present this idea and they loved it. It gives you graphics, 15 city expansion strategy, a hub that makes it more than just galleries to digitize it, a community mobilization framework, because my them that we start to they do it, digital community, economic and cultural impact. Are you guys seeing this? Everybody seeing it? No?
We're
Yes.
seeing
Okay,
it.
great. We're seeing it. Great. Okay. So all of this came from that one prompt that I shared with you guys. It built all of this. And this is how entrepreneurs can automate decks, presentations, proposals for $10 a month. Do you understand? Like, I'm sharing the tea. Like, I don't believe in gatekeeping. I believe entrepreneurs are my people. And whether you're in my student, my courses, my students, my community or not, I want you to know what's going on here. One little prompt led to all of this. So imagine when it's time for you to sit in front of investors, apply for a bank loan or an angel investor loan, whatever it is, you can do it with this. This is my point. Like the resources that are available to all of us as entrepreneurs are insane. So I want you to just take it all in, right? And understand that the let me see what am I doing right now. I gotta go back to here, share this, and where is my here we go. Yes, Booski Bear. Uh okay, I'm sorry. You okay? Oh, okay. This is my twin and my son. What happened? No tablet at 8:15. I'm gonna be out to you in 2 seconds, okay? No tablet at 8:15, okay? But I'll be right with you, okay? I promise. It's okay. All right. So you guys got any questions about any of that? I just need you guys to let me know. I'm happy to answer every question. Yes, Woody, it is very amazing. So, let me see. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I hope you are. Um, we are in the, let's see. We're in the presentation. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is say this is capacity. That's what I meant with by capacity. Last session was all about building brand clarity and brand identity. These three tools is how you build capacity, how you go from playing very small to upscaling up your operations without scaling up the amount of money you're spending on human capital, right? Because every person you add onto your team, that's thousands and thousands of dollars a year, and we may not have the benefit of having that. You want to operate more efficiently. This is what the AI verse is all about, right? The universe of AI and AI tools is all about. So we have, if this feels powerful, right? Right? It feels powerful to me. I live it every day. I teach it to the students in my courses, and we go deep into ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gamma, and even other tools like Opus Clips and all of that. We go into it. And also the people in my community and in my green room course. Like, imagine if weekly refinement, real time guidance, feedback on your actual drafts, and live positioning labs, like how much you get. Go back to the slide after the Bible verse. Okay, let's see here. Talking this, the prompt. I'm so excited that you're excited, Kendall. All right. Make sure you guys tell your friends who are entrepreneurs because we have way less people on this session. So there's a lot of people who missed all of this, and there's no way that they're going to catch up on it just by looking at a deck. They need to know, like, you need to not miss out on this email automation. So this is the proposal that it spit out. This is capacity. Imagine what your life and your business is like. This is something that my green room students experience all the time. And so, in closing and wrapping this up, I just want to say number one, I could not be more excited to be there in April in person and meet all of you guys and know your names, your businesses, and see what exciting stuff we can do when we do the email automation program, and also see what GPT agents you guys create. That's exciting. Can anybody share? Two people have just shared already, but what has shifted for you on this call? Kendall, thank you so much for sharing already that you're excited to start implementing. But I need everyone on. We have over 30 people on. Can somebody share exactly what has shifted for them? Like, what are you excited to walk away from here with and start trying immediately? Is it the email automation? Is it finishing your agent? Is it setting up a Facebook ad copy agent or an email copywriting agent? Like, what is it that you are excited to get started on. Email automation, definitely. Literally everything. I love it. Thank you, Kiva. I love the excitement. Finishing my agent, that's great. So these are all tools that entrepreneurs have to use because if you don't, you have to hire somebody for everything. How can I set up my business so when I do a soft launch, I can be better prepared? Okay, definitely the Gamma app because the amount of business that can come from these proposals. Absolutely. Tech has a way of overwhelming me. I'll be happy to finish my agent so it can help me build. Got it. Tech has a way of overwhelming me based on what you delivered tonight. I feel empowered. I'm so happy to hear that you feel empowered and inspired to create my email automation. I'm excited to work with my agent and the email automation. I'm new to this call, so I have a lot to catch up on. Absolutely. And again, I'm sure they're going to send out the prompts and the resources. You guys are definitely going to get all of it. And let me know. I just learned about Gamma. I want to hear back. Find me on Instagram at Shante, Shante Bacon. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you guys. When you finish your agents, definitely say, I finished my agent. I want to, you can find me at Shante Bacon on Instagram, on YouTube, and LinkedIn. I really don't use my Twitter account, but let me know where you are with it. Did you finish the agent? Did you set up a 5-day email automation? What did you finish? I want to hear about it. And I will post it on my Instagram stories. Tell me what your business is and how it changed your business. I will post that on my stories. You will last week's session for those who were not there. I don't know what last week's session was, but we will definitely get like the this session emailed out to you for sure. And I want to hear what you build in Gamma. I want to know how it helped your pitching process to make it easier. I want to hear how you're using all of these tools to position yourself better, right? I want to hear about all of it. Definitely let me know. Second, that keyword is very informative. Hi, Carnisha. So I wanted to share a freebie with you guys, right? So everybody who's on here, this is another free tool. Last session, a month ago, I gave you guys the pocket guide, which you can get on my site at any time. This one right here is the QR code for our quiz on the site. So the reason why this is a freebie is because you can scan this, you can take the quiz, and there are 4 possible results: position for pain, position to pivot, position for progress, position for profit. Based on what your result is, you get a 2-page printout of resources that will help you to level up. Like if your business is positioned for pain because you're doing everything, you have no time for anything, you don't know where to start with getting your business position better, it'll give you resources to get you to the next level. Links to sites, everything from emailsubjectline.com that helps you to come up with subject lines for your emails to all kinds of resources and downloads that you can use to help level up. I'm excited to hear where you landed on the quiz. Um, my website is shantebacon.com. And there you go. You can find this quiz there, but you can scan the QR code to get there. I want to hear, like after the last session, I heard from a couple of people, like maybe 3 on my Instagram, but I want to know that this stuff is working for you. I want to see what you're able to make with it, right? Like literally, this is totally pro bono. I love doing it because I love my entrepreneurs. I love my entrepreneurial community. And I love Bahamas. It is like where God saved all his majesty, in my opinion. I'm a native New Yorker. I love New York, but there is literally no place like the Bahamas. And when I met Blair, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make sure that I get a chance to work with your entrepreneurs on the things that I work with my students on all the time. So definitely scan that, take the quiz. Let me know what you think about that. And one thing that I'm always concerned about is when we do these sessions, right? We do the session and we're fired up and we feel like we could run through a wall while we're doing the session. And we're like, I'm going to get started implementing. But the second that you turn the Zoom off, it's 8:30 at night. You got kids that's like, what we having for dinner? You got husbands All wives, that's like, what we doing tonight? What we having for dinner? You've got entrepreneur, I mean, people who work for you at your business who are like, I had this problem and that problem and this problem, and they make their problem your problem. And you have an elderly parent you're taking care of who's going to need you because they're sundowning, because they have Alzheimer's, because they have whatever they ailment that they have in their mid 80s or 90s. Yet life kicks in the second you get off of Zoom. And I know all about that because I am um I'm living that every single day, right? With a 5-year old and an 83-year-old that I have to take care of. I don't get to think straight until 11 o'clock at night. And so I usually spend my time building new things and new resources for my entrepreneurs at nighttime because I want to make sure that you get them and that you're able to use them in your businesses. So when you can come off of here, if you want the learning to continue, look into joining my Headline Heroes community. It is only $24 a month. And joining the Green Room course, which you can find more information out about here. The Green Room is where we do these types of sessions all the time. It's a 6-week course, and we go dig deep into the stuff from the brand clarity, brand identity, and the stuff from this course, email automation for entrepreneurs, all the way up until we get the business positioned and ready to go out and get visibility and media. And that's when you're positioned for profit. The other QR code, I think you said, oh, the pocket guide, that was from last week. I don't have that QR code in this deck right here, but if you go to the site, you can, there's a drop down that says pocket guide and you can find it from there. I promise. I'm at Shante Bacon on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. You'll find more activity on Instagram than anywhere else. You can grab this QR code, read and get more information about the Green Room course if you want the learning to continue. We do have a spring cohort coming up in May, and anybody can register for that. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I stuck around at the end of the last call to answer specific questions that people have for their business. I do have to get to my son, but I want to make sure that I answer some questions for anybody. I want to thank Gurlancy for participating in the interactive element of building the GPT. That was exciting.
Thank you for having
Um,
me.
thank you. I also did want to announce the winners. When we sent out the resources from the first session on brand clarity and brand identity, I made an offer that the first 10 people to submit a review would get a free live hot seat coaching session. So these are the people who won the coaching session because they posted the review of the last session. So I do need to, I think most of these people, I didn't want to put everybody's last name, but if Blair, if you can contact these women, let them know that they won a free live hot seat coaching session. That would be great. And congrats to the winners. I really appreciate the feedback. I always need feedback. So I know how to make it better for everyone. Let me see what questions. What's the name of the other QR code? Pocket guide is the green room for novice or persons new to this. The green room is for all levels because it depends on if you're positioned for pain, positioned for progress, position to pivot, position for profit. So green room is for all course levels, all entrepreneurial levels. This was a very informative session. Thank you, Rochelle. Field of Dreams, thank you. Miss Ingraham, congrats, and Miss Cox. Thank you guys so much. Anybody have any specific questions that they want to ask? Anybody have anything specific? Okay, because I will jump off. I hear my child crying. Blair, anything that you want me to wrap up or anything else that you have a question about or want to say in closing?
Yes, I mean, I just want to say thank you, Shante, once again. Very, very informative, and we have some actionable things that we can do after this call. So really appreciate that. And thank you to everyone that joined for, engaging with us. Hopefully it was helpful to you all as well. And you can definitely look out, like Shante said, for the post meeting resources. So we'll send slides, links, etc. So you'll have everything that you need to continue doing this work. So thank you again for taking the time this evening. Um, yeah.
Great. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all of the kind words and the feedback. How do you support capacity building? I need a little bit more information on that question. I support capacity building for my students through my Green Room course and through my Headline Heroes community. We do sessions all the time. We do hot seat coaching, pitch and sips. We drop tools in the chat. We have people say what they're challenged with in terms of where their energy needs to go first, because entrepreneurship is overwhelming. I think that was the only question that I saw. Yep. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to build with this information. I need to see proposals from Gamma out the ears. I need to see all kinds of email automation. I need to hear about how those GPT agents are changing your whole life, but you have to ask it to do something every single day. Don't wake up and think you're going to turn on your computer and it's going to spit out everything that you need. Nope, not happening. It is a robot. It has to be activated. Gamma does take personal photos, but you can say, hey, I need a proposal because I have a vitamin company. I need photos of a family that is riding bikes or on the beach or doing healthy, engaging things, doing yoga. So it speaks to mental health and wellness and physical wellness, and then ask it to give you families in different scenarios and multicultural and all of that to fill and populate your deck with. So you can tell it specific direction. Hey, I need a group of multicultural people sitting in a conference room that are high-fiving each other and they look like co-workers, or I need girls on a girls trip or on a beach, and it'll fill your deck with what you need. Thank you guys. Blair, thanks for having me again. I cannot tell you how much fun these are for me. I mean, I'm tanked up with energy for the next couple of weeks about this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, we are so happy to be blessed with all of the info.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to the 10 people who won their spot, their free month in the Headline Heroes community, and
Yes.
their free coaching session. Y'all better make sure you get them coaching sessions scheduled. Make them happen.
Yes, so we will definitely be reaching out to these persons. So please look out for any communications from us if you are on the call. If not, we will definitely be sending an email to you.
All right. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, bye-bye everyone.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.